Now that we've got signal flowing through our input path to our interface, let's open Pro Tools and make a new track. You can double check your playback engine under Setup at this point. It should be HDX. And in your I/O setup under Setup, you should see all of our Focusrite interfaces populated in the top column, and all of their available inputs and outputs in these rows. Each of our Focusrite A16R interfaces have 16 inputs and 16 outputs. Back to the track. On the input path selector, since we've got our microphone coming in on channel 1, and we know that our signal flows to interface A channel 1, we're going to select channel 1, which is A1. If you engage the input monitor button on the track, you will see that signal is flowing. At this point, if you hit the record enable button on the track and press record in Pro Tools, you would be able to record this. However, we still need to send this signal out to the monitoring side of our board to be able to hear it in this room. So in this room, our monitoring starts at interface output B1. This makes sense for us because this console has 16 channels on one side and 16 channels on the other side, and each interface happens to have 16 inputs and 16 outputs. So the first side of the console uses interface A, and the expansion side that we use for the monitoring starts with channel 17, which we've got normal to interface B1 via the patch bay. So we set the output of this first track to B1 and make sure we've got the input monitor button engaged so that the signal can flow through the track. B1 and all the subsequent B outputs travel with a DB25 cable out of the back of the interface to the back of the patch bay. We'll keep using B1 as an example. B1 is then normal to the line input of channel 17. Recall that if you do not have this button that says mic on the preamp section pressed down, then you've got the line input selected. On the back of this board, on every channel, there are two physical inputs for every channel, one for mic signals and one for line level signals that have already been brought up to line level by a preamp at some point, like our signal here. So every channel gives you a physical input for a mic or line level signal, but you've got to select the one that your signal is flowing through. Now, on channel 17, engage the program bus button to assign this channel to your program bus, aka your mix bus, which is what we are ultimately monitoring. Bring your fader up to the desired level. It does not need to be at unity on your monitoring side. It can be at any level that is reasonably balanced with your other tracks. That is the point of our monitoring side, to monitor each track at our desired volume instead of prioritizing signal to noise ratio. That concludes the recording signal flow from microphone to monitoring for the API 1608. As you add microphones, you will use subsequent channels and keep going down the line.